gelöst sein. I loaded back to right after I met up with Momo. We were heading towards Nakano Broadway again.
The other hackers found the parent devices. I know. Hey, keep cool and listen up.
Momo was sitting behind me. I talked to her using BMI.
There's an agent of the Holy Office 513 waiting for us. His name's Davide. You just told me he was the one that killed your buddies.
So you loaded?
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be seeing him so soon.
As if to hide her fear, Momo clung to me even tighter.
It's too much for you. I can drop you off on the way. How about it? I can handle Davide by myself.
No. I won't let him control me with fear.
Got it.
This girl really had guts.
Cross, you completed the patch, right? Take back Nakano Broadway's security once you've shared it. There's an agent there waiting for us.
What?
You better make it quick, bro. I'm on it.
Hold on, agents are powerful. We need a plan.
I know what his toll is, if that's what you're asking.
Really?
His body temperature drops whenever he conjures fire. If we get him to overuse his sacrament, he should get hypothermia and paralyze himself. Momo?
That's good to know, but I doubt it'll be that easy.
Well, then what do we...
I have an idea.
All right. I took over the security. What's our next step?
Watch the agent. Tell me if he does anything.
Roger.
I looked at Momo and she looked back at me.
Ready?
We can start anytime.
Let's do this then. I used the security clearance Cross gave me to make a public announcement.
Davide! You hear me? I know you're in that room, and I know you're after Lucia! Get down here to Nakano Broadway and fight like a man!
Momo spoke up too.
I'm not going to run, and I'm not going to hide. Let's settle this.
With that, we ended the announcement.
The target's on the move.
And the parent device?
He's got it.
So just like before, if we wanted to stop the hack, we had to do something about Davide first. I took a deep breath to calm down. It seemed strangely loud, probably because we were the only ones around. The Broadway was closed because of the verification errors and was so silent that it didn't feel like we were in the middle of Tokyo at all. Most shops here had their shutters up with the lights on. Everything looked normal, except there weren't any people. I felt like I was in an eerily realistic dream.
He's here.
I followed Momo's gaze and saw Davide at the other end. I'd seen him just before I loaded, but to Momo, this was the first meeting since a few weeks ago, when he'd killed her buddies back at the Vatican. I heard her take a gulp. Davide looked just as he had last time. His face was chiseled and his body like a statue. A giant cross was slung across his back and black gloves covered both his hands.
Lucia! Hearing your voice, I thought the bells of heaven were chiming.
He was walking towards us. Momo said nothing in response. She was on high alert, her face tense.
Did you actually come to take her alone? Are you insane? You won't get her that easily. She's got me. And guess what? I'm the first guy who ever completed a cicada quest.
So you're the one behind that announcement. Splendid work seeing through my deception. I am impressed.
And I'm disappointed. I thought you Holy Office peeps were supposed to be tough, man. Talk about a letdown.
What an amusing child!
Whatever. Be amused while you still can. I'll make sure you'll have nothing to laugh about soon.
Hallelujah! Mother Mary, I thank you for the opportunity to meet reckoning upon the pride of this unruly child!
He cracked a smile, looking something like a deranged clown. The next moment, he rushed forward. He came at us shockingly fast, at a speed I didn't expect someone his size to be capable of. We kept our eyes on him until it triggered the fire shutters and shut him out.
Momo, get back!
Okay!
We ran through the Broadway. Looking back, I saw some smoke rising from the shutter behind us. He was melting it with his sacrament. In the blink of an eye, there was a hole big enough to see his face through. It grew bigger and bigger until Davide himself could get through it. He climbed through and came closer. There were about 20 meters between us.
Oh, such a divine scent. The expiration of iron is truly wonderful. Wouldn't you agree?
Davide took a red-hot fragment of steel and had... Oh, fuck. Was habe ich denn jetzt gemacht?
You ever thought of working at a crematorium? Seems like your dream job.
He dropped the medal and ran again.
He's coming!
I took off at full speed, telling Momo to do the same.
He's so fast!
Okay. He closed the distance between us in seconds.
Slide!
I triggered the next shutter before we were on the other side. But we slid under it, barely getting through. The shutter stopped Davide in his tracks again.
To the next!
Yeah!
We stood up and rushed ahead. The shutter I'd just brought down was already starting to melt.
Come on! Make it!
The Broadway stretched far ahead. And each floor had several shutters. Davide's body temperature would be really low by the time he'd melted through most of them. It turned out he was way tougher than I could have imagined, though honestly I wasn't sure if we could pull this off. There was also the chance that he'd figure out what we were planning.
Hold on, something's not right.
Momo was looking at the shutter I just closed. It was melting moments ago, but the heat wasn't coming anymore.
What's going on?
Surprised, I stopped and stood still. Had he realized what we were doing? No way, right? It was too early for that to happen. Suddenly a siren pierced my ears.
What?
It's the fire alarm. He activated it.
But why?
Was he trying to distract us? As that thought crossed my mind, water sprayed down from the sprinklers above. I wiped my face with my sleeve, keeping my eyes on the shutter. But the shutter wasn't melting at all.
Is that?
Momo was looking not at the shutter, but somewhere ahead of the splitting Broadway. She was looking at the rising pale fog filling the air.
Smoke?
It spread silently and had covered my sight in seconds. It was weirdly hot, like I was in a sauna.
It's mist.
He was using heat to turn the water into steam. He must have realized what we were planning, then put up a smoke screen. I used my clearance to force stop the sprinklers and activate the ventilation, but the mist wasn't fading.
Cross, do you see him?
No, I lost sight of him.
I activated a thermographic filter, but the steam turned my whole vision red. Davide could have been right in front of me and I wouldn't have seen him.
Momo, let's get to the next point. But be careful.
Okay.
Straining my eyes I monitored my surroundings as we ran for the next shot.
I just saw a silhouette move past one of the security cams. He's coming for you.
I looked behind me as I ran. I didn't see anything in the mist. The only footsteps were ours. It was a blurred silhouette. He was right behind us.
Momo, move!
I took her hand and jumped to the side. A red light rushed through the spot where she'd stood. It was Davide's burning hand. It passed us by and disappeared into the mist ahead. His footsteps stopped. He turned around. He was gonna attack again.
I'll buy us some time. Can you go by yourself?
I can.
I grabbed the coat from a nearby shop, then stood in the middle of the Broadway.
Bring it on, Davide! Show me how hot your fire really is!
Momo was lowering her body at the edge of the Broadway, looking for a good time to move. There was a light deep in the mist. It was growing brighter as the sound of the footsteps grew louder. It was right in front of me. With his right hand aflame, he charged at me.
Now, go!
Momo ran full speed in the direction Davide came from. Used the coat to seize his hand, then twisted my body. It was the kind of move a bullfighter would use. But he was way faster than me. And his burning palm smashed my chest through the coat. It felt like I'd been rammed by a car. What? My body was sent flying like a ragdoll, and I landed on my back. The coat was on fire. Fighting the pain in my chest, I threw it aside. Without that coat, I would have been the one burning.
You gotta work on your aim.
I shall take my time incinerating you once the mist is lifted.
Davide smiled and turned to run in the other direction. Shit, he was going after Momo.
Stop fucking running. I'm not done with you yet.
I croaked the words out, but he completely ignored me.
Damn it!
Clenching my teeth, I stood up. My chest was throbbing with pain. I could barely breathe. My back was hurting too, but this wasn't the time to worry about it.
Gotta go after Momo. Don't worry.
I put my hand on the nearby pillar and pushed, forcing myself to stand up.
I can still do this.
I heard sounds and a scream coming from the mist. Shit, I had to hurry. As I ran, I displayed Momo's vision inside my own. I thought I could see her side to figure out where she was, but the mist was too thick. What I could tell was that she was crouching on the floor.
Are you prepared to witness hell?
With those words, Davide's outline appeared. It got clearer and clearer, until there stood a man with a warped smile on his face.
Stay away.
Momo backed off, still on the floor.
I will retrieve your husk, expunged of all life!
But you were only ordered to capture me. Don't kill me. Killing me will disrupt the fate line. Your job is to protect it, isn't it?
So, the sinner pleads for her life, bending her ideals simply to survive. Such a wretched soul!
Momo stopped moving backwards. There was a wall behind her. She no longer had anywhere to run.
No!
Lucia. Now, open your arms and welcome my flame's embrace. Render unto me the scent of your death and sink into hellfire!
Davide removed both his gloves and his palms grew red with heat. He licked his lips in anticipation of the smell her burning would give off. He took a step forward.
Don't worry.
You're the one who's cornered, Davide Yesue.
What?
White lightning struck from 3 directions. It wrapped around Davide. His hulking frame twitched, then collapsed on the spot. That made it easy for me to find them, after all.
I have an idea. Use me as bait to defeat Davide.
That's too dangerous. Why would we do that?
Bombi gave me something. We can knock him out with the Delta Stunners.
So, getting cornered was part of the plan. We couldn't get Davide to abuse his sacrament, but we could lure him inside the range of the Delta Stunners, then hit him with the maximum voltage. And now that he was on the ground, we could tie him up.
That was mighty indeed.
Davide was still conscious. He slowly started to stand.
Momo, shock him again!
I can't! They need to charge!
Shit!
Our trap had worked perfectly, but it wasn't enough. Were we really about to lose now? Davide stood up and reached for Momo.
No! Like hell!
I sprinted toward them. A large silhouette stood beyond the mist. My body hurt all over and I could barely breathe. But I gathered my strength and pushed myself to run even faster. The moment Davide came into view, I threw myself at him. I lost balance and reeled backward. A few meters ahead was a shop with glass display cases. If I could just push him in there.
You wretch!
He grabbed my arm. His hand was bare. He could use the sacrament at any moment, and if he does, a moment later, I realized that the sand was cold. I could tell from his groaning that the sacrament was taking its toll on him. There was only one thing left to do. I tackled him with the by the waist. His giant frame fell backward, and the back of his head smashed into one of the glass display cases. Shards of shattered glass fell like rain. He was buried beneath the shattered display, and this time he didn't get back up.
Hold on! You defeated him!
Yeah. Somehow.
I took out the cable ties I had prepared and approached him. Before he woke up, I bound his arms and legs a bunch of times.
Alright. Let's stop the parrot.
I checked Davide's body. The tablet device I was looking for was in his coat's inner pocket.
It's at 50%!
The 51% attack was almost ready. I quickly wired my carrier node to the parent device, then installed Cross's patch.
Come on, stop!
Officer Bobby Kurashina! We've received another request for aid from the Picked OS Data Center Repair Team!
Tell them we're coming. Ah, wait, stop!
But we are going there, aren't we?
No, I mean the car! Stop the car!
What?
Yoroha, who was at the wheel, hit the brakes, bringing the self-driving police car to a stop.
What's up with you?
Sorry, I'm just gonna get out for a sec.
Everyone around was standing in place, looking up. They were watching a large AR vision. It was showing the live progress to the 51% attack everywhere in the world.
No, it's about to start!
The progress of the attacks on each bank and country was nearing 50%. Tokyo Mitsubishi Bank was actually already there.
Not good. We're too late.
I heard the people around us wailing with grief. Unable to bear the pain, many were crying or shouting in anger.
Please, I beg you, stop.
Suddenly, the vision changed.
Wait, what? Is that 4chan?
It's a cicada post. It says that...
The hacking has stopped?
We have confirmed that hacking has stopped in Japan and all hacking has been I don't know. This is the end of the quest. However, our objective has not been. We will meet again soon.
The base hack's over. Someone stopped it!
People nearby had started clapping and cheering. Same ones who looked so anxious before were now crying tears of joy and hugging each other.
Do you think they pulled it off?
Probably. The chief asked for their help. Looks like he skipped a few legal steps and got into some mischief, though. Oh, I asked him not to break the law!
Such a naughty boy, that one.
Should we contact him and give him a lecture? Okay, that's enough. We have to get to the data center. We can't just drop our duties when the city's in chaos!
Section Chief, it's Semezu of the Cyber Countermeasures Office.
The chief of the cybersecurity division had been waiting for a call from Kaoru Samesu and answered immediately.
The attack on Tokyo Mitsubishi Bank has been stopped. Yes, the 51% attack wasn't completed and all assets are safe. The details will be in the report. Until next time. What a relief.
The mist had cleared, and after seeing the post I'd been sent, I finally felt like I could relax.
It's over.
Yeah, it looks like everything worked out.
We'd only stopped the hack here in Japan. It was Cicada himself who pulled the plug on the hacks overseas. Considering his goal, it was clear he'd end the quest the moment someone completed it, but there was still this slight chance he wouldn't.
This couldn't have happened without you.
It was thanks to her bait idea that we beat Davide and finished the quest.
I knew you were stubborn, but I didn't think you'd do something this reckless.
It was thanks to you. Nakano Symphonies. I couldn't have done any of this alone. It's great when your team's got your back, huh?
Momo smiled shyly.
Let's call the cops and have them take Davide downtown. We can head back and rest.
Fight had left my whole body hurting. Honestly, even walking was kinda hard. Momo didn't look so hot either. She'd helped put out that fire and fought an agent too. She must have been exhausted mentally and physically.
What?
Davide was conscious. If he was regaining strength, he could have used his sacrament to escape custody. Were we gonna have to break out of the Delta Stellars again?
Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is with thee.
Huh?
Our Lady's prophecy will be fulfilled.
What are you talking about?
You have overlooked a crucial detail. Did you truly believe I was the only one?
What?
Did you honestly think I was the only one who was dispatched on this mission?
What?
I heard someone approaching. And when I looked in the direction of the sounds, I saw a woman.
This is the end.
Without a sliver of hesitation in her eyes, she pulled the trigger. What? The second the gunshot rang out, I realized my eyes were closed. I must have shut them on instinct. I couldn't bear to face the threat in front of me. Some part of me knew the gun was real, and I could sense some crazy malice in this woman too. My eyes were closed, but somehow I could tell that the life was leaving someone's body. But I was still standing. The gun was smoking, and I could smell the gunpowder from here. She definitely shot someone. That was when I realized the gun's muzzle wasn't aimed at me. No way.
Momo!
I spun around.
What's going on?
Momo was still there, standing where I last saw her, completely unharmed. Which meant the person the woman had shot was Davide. Blood oozed slowly from a bullet hole in his head. He wasn't breathing. The shot had killed him instantly.
But why?
I was pretty damn sure she was on the Holy Officer's side. Did Davide do something that pissed her off that much?
Rosario! It's really you?
But Momo jumped joyfully at the woman.
I see you're unharmed, Lucia.
Huh?
He couldn't keep up with the situation.
Hey, is she...
Rosario is one of my associates. She helped me escape from the Vatican.
Okay. That explained just about everything. Momo had said some of her friends were killed, but she wasn't sure about others. So it looked like she was one who survived and made it here. There was one thing I still didn't get, though.
Are you... an agent?
Yes, at least officially. She belongs to the anti-fate faction, meaning her goal is the same as ours.
I was undercover as a proponent of the end, and used that role to inform my allies about the actions of 513.
But we went outside, letting the CCO clean up the mess at Nakano Broadway. The case from Facehack hadn't totally subsided yet, but we'd stopped the root cause, so things would sort themselves out soon. As long as the hackers, the police, and Google fixed their shit, the PictOS would go back to normal.
Oh?
I already got a message from Cicada. There was a 4chan post too, so it must have been him.
I've completed 2 quests. Surely now he'll... What the hell?
The message was so short, it didn't feel like Cicada wrote it. It looked like something some kid would send as a joke. Observing? What? Went sent me an article. So I was in 2nd place now, huh? Quest rankings didn't mean anything though. They had nothing to do with Cicada. It wasn't good enough yet. I wasn't good enough yet. That's what Cicada himself said. Honestly, I really didn't want to be treated as a hacker. My goals and attitude were completely different from those assholes.
Rosario, what happened to the others?
Momo looked serious, and there was an air of tension around her.
Diego and Almero. Are they okay? They were alive when I fled, but...
No. They were captured and tortured by 513 agents. There was little I could do but put them out of their misery.
Huh? That's terrible.
Things would have been different if more of us had acted. Too many of the anti-fate faction have lost their hope and urge to stand up.
I cannot blame them. The Holy Office 513 are a terrifying force.
Momo sighed, a silent expression on her face. Rosario gently stroked her back.
For now, we should be thankful we were able to see each other again.
That's true.
I was surprised when I heard you were participating in those quests, though. You've now completed 2 of them. 513 must be dumbfounded.
This is all thanks to Polon and his Nakano Symphonies.
Nakano Symphonies?
It's the name of our team. There's one other guy in it.
I joined them, and we're now working together to save the world.
You have new allies, I see.
I haven't forgotten how much you all helped me back at the Vatican. Actually, it's because of what happened that I've learned to trust others.
You made the right call. Saving the world is too great a task for one person. Polon, now that I've dealt with Davide, I cannot return to 513. Would you mind if I stayed here and helped with your efforts to protect the world?
You mean...
If you're asking to join the symphonies, you got it. Any friend of Momo's is a friend of mine.
Cross would be for it too.
Momo. So that's what you're going by.
Yes. I'm Momo Aizaki now.
All right then. Polon, Momo, let's save the world.
Okay. Azuma was seated in a chair with his head rested on the desk. A tuning terminal was on the desk too. The cube-like device had been tossed carelessly onto the flat surface. It was shortly after midnight. The boy had fallen asleep and looked like any other child his age, and yet...
I did not...
He shouted suddenly, waking himself up.
Drat. I fell asleep.
Are you okay, Asuma? It looked like you were having a nightmare.
Asuma's expression twisted into one of deep disgust as he realized Yuen was with him.
Why are you here?
You were working late into the night, weren't you? I came to check on you. Passion is all well and good, but only in measured doses. Why not get some rest in your room for once?
If I could rest, I would do so. I don't need you to remind me. Use your head for once, imbecile.
Yuen nodded as he placed the mug down on the desk.
I knew you'd say that. That's why I made this.
What?
It's hot milk with honey and vanilla extract. My grandfather used to make it for me. It has something of a relaxing effect.
Are you done here? Get out. I'm hard at work, as I'm sure you can see.
Very well. I'll see you tomorrow.
Azuma reached for the cube-like device, but after a moment of hesitation, took the mug instead. After drinking about half of the milk, he picked up the terminal and resumed his work. It was early morning, shortly before sunrise, and 2 men stood in a park. One was Oz, and the other Kaoru. Kaoru held in his hand a tablet displaying the name Riku Kaburagi.
I hear that you contributed during the face hack.
I see you're as abreast of events as ever, Mr. Kaburagi.
We're the younger generation of government officials. Information is both our sword and shield. You have my deepest gratitude for saving this country.
The one you should be thanking is Polon Takaoka.
Anyone who contributed even a little deserves recognition.
That's nice and all, but you don't have much time today, do you? Let's get to the point.
That's true. Give me your investigation report.
The first one to hear rumors of Project Gaia being resumed was a young politician currently serving on the ruling cabinet, Riku Kaburagi. An extremely precise Earth simulator could be more dangerous than nuclear weaponry. Some said that one could even spark World War III. With such fears in mind...
As you thought, the JOSDF drill was planned, and the capture...
Na, fuck off. Geht es hier nicht? Okay. And the capture of a foreign agent during June's joint military exercise with Russia in Kunarishiri. Gaia was involved in those too.
So it was all true.
And here's something extra. Last year, a major foreign cyber attack targeted Japan's medical institutions. It turns out the MOD staged that attack to procure extra funding. All that extra cash is going towards operating Gaia.
To think they'd go that far. So that's what they're willing to do, to take back the 50 years Japan lost.
It's tough to make up for lost time within the confines of the law these days. Does the Prime Minister know about this?
Most likely, they're playing it safe. Making sure they never leave any evidence. They're being real crafty. I can't help but admire that.
Do you think we can prove that the PM's involved? If we want to turn Gaia off for good, we'll need to attack the source.
During the SFG's operation to capture Lucia, the people involved with Gaia held a few meetings. Those get-togethers helped me narrow down who we're dealing with. Won't be long before we've got the evidence we need.
I see.
Look forward to the good news.
I believe in you, Ozutani. We're going to change the world. And we're going to do it the right way.
Polon! You went crazy on that quest yesterday, didn't you? I heard it was even harder than the high-hack one. Ugh, I shouldn't have come to Kyoto for the academic meeting.
Whoa, Miss Lid?
I was in deep sleep when an overexcited woman suddenly woke me up.
You made a delayed choice again, didn't you? The loading, I mean. Did you hear anything from that mystery hacker?
I loaded, yeah, but...
Oh, and congrats on getting to second place. It's crazy to think that you're right behind Juno now. You're awesome. Did you fight her yet? She's also a real wizard, isn't she? I still wonder whether people are being literal when they say she's a phantom. I'll follow the next quest as it happens, so promise me you'll work your magic then too. I've got an interview now, though. See ya!
What the hell?
It felt like I'd been caught in a sudden downpour while on a walk. I was now totally awake. And she seemed pretty busy, and on her day off too.
You're finally up.
Cross?
I finally realized that I wasn't in symphony.
Why are you surprised? You're the one who asked to stay at my place.
Oh, yeah. I let the girls have symphony.
The security there was pretty good, so I'd figured it was the safest place for them. And since I didn't have anywhere else to sleep, I went to Cross's place.
You're gonna talk to that Rosario woman about the Holy Office 513, right? Shouldn't we get going?
I checked the time and realized it was already past 10 a.m.
I'll get ready.
When I reached Symphony, but both Momo and Rosario looked kinda confused.
Is there a traffic jam? Or maybe it's something to do with the face hack.
Morning. What's up?
Polon and Cross are here. We ordered delivery for breakfast about 2 hours ago, but it's not here yet.
That sucks. Is the place nearby?
Yes. It's a sushi restaurant downtown. I saw a social media post saying they delivered norimaki and miso soup sets by drone until 11. The natto and kanpyo look delicious.
You can eat sushi?
I'm sure I can. I know what it is.
She said something like that before she choked on the 7 cup.
We should complain. They advertise 10-minute deliveries, but they've made us wait 2 hours. It's simply unforgivable.
Rosario steeled herself, then used a Bible-like input device to control her BMI.
Is this all the sushi Nakano branch? I want to speak with your manager. I'm Rosario Rosalini. I made an order 2 hours ago, and it still hasn't come. Such slovenly business deserves divine punishment.
Damn, she went hard. I complained myself from time to time, but never like this.
What? Say that again, please? Really? Truly? Honestly? I'm so sorry!
She sure sounded meek, retracting her complaint.
What happened?
I forgot to order.
Huh?
Seriously?
No wonder nothing got delivered.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. There's still time to order it.
I'll do it right away.
Rosario used her BMI again. Her serious expression combined with the way she handled her Bible-like device made her look pretty cool, then kinda holy. But that style didn't count for much, considering she was trying to fix a breakfast order she'd messed up.
There.
Thank you.
Would you mind if I took a look at the bill?
You doubt that I ordered successfully? I swear to the Lord that I most certainly did.
Where's this front coming from?
Please, don't get me wrong. I just want to check it.
Very well.
Rosario used her BMI again, grumpily.
What's the problem now?
It's the amount.
No!
If it's not enough, we can just ask for more.
It's not that. She ordered too much.
Well, then we can eat with them.
It's 20 sets.
20?
How do you mess up that bad?
How could I? I can't believe myself.
I'll call him about it.
Rosario was acting like a sad puppy.
Was she really a badass agent of the church?
Of course. She can be a bit careless outside of missions, though.
I changed
Bitch.
the order to 2 sets.
Thank you.
I'm terribly sorry for my trespasses. I must seek penance. Is there a church nearby?
It's not that big of a deal. You just be more careful next time, that's all.
Cross is right. It's fine.
Momo patted Rosario's head. I felt like I was watching a little sister taking care of her big sister. It was kinda strange. The Rosario I'd met the day before was a fading memory at this point. Oh. Momo and Rosario struggled with the natto. But eventually then they finished the breakfast. The natto. Ja, das komische Zeug. Ja, okay, das verstehe ich. Das Natto. Oder wie wird das ausgesprochen? Natto. Das ist dieses komische Ding aus fermentierten Sojabohnen, glaube ich. Oder? Moment, Herstellung. Gekochte Bohnen in Reisstroh gewickelt, das auf dem Stroh Bakterien, bla bla bla. Fermentationsprozess. Ah ja. Okay. Ja, also gekochte, fermentierte Sojabohnen. Ist nicht. After that, we got down to business.
I will tell you everything I know, but please be aware that there will be no going back once you've heard it all. Are you sure you want to?
I've been ready for a long time now.
I'll listen too.
Please begin, Rosario.
Very well. The Holy Office 513 dates back to over 100 years ago. It has roots in the secret society known as the Illuminati. At the time, it was only a small group with little influence. But that changed in 1917 with the miracle of Our Lady's appearance and the third secret of Fatima she bestowed upon us. The prophecy of the world's end bolstered their beliefs. They decided to analyze more miracles, such as Our Lady's words and other apparitions. 513 became a real organization. They added details to the original Illuminati fate line to create a more complex series of events.
So that's their origin story.
Their actions grew increasingly extreme over the years, especially once they'd used the Earth simulator to verify the apparitions of Our Lady. In 2013, the Pope resigned from his post while still alive. It was a rare act, and 513 was involved with that too. The Pope was already dead. 513 assassinated him since he was anti-fate. The resignation was tendered by a body double.
They killed the Pope? Isn't he like the boss of the whole church? What the hell?
They'll do anything that wouldn't be traced back to them. They're especially proactive about eliminating whoever stands in their way. Rumor has it they were involved in the deaths of well-known individuals, such as Antoni Gaudí and Nikola Tesla.
Gaudí? Of Sagrada Familia fame?
Yes, its second architect.
And Nikola Tesla is known for his work on alternating current.
Damn.
Those are the kind of people you see in textbooks. Apparently, the Holy Officer's influence went way beyond the Vatican.
The anti-fate faction faced its gravest ordeal in 2026.
What happened?
Back then, the faction was led by Pietro Bertone, the Cardinal Kent Korihisa trusted more than any other. Ever since Kent Korihisa escaped in 2012, Pietro had sent him information about 513's actions and the situation at the Vatican.
He must have been a real pillar of the faction.
Indeed. He was a great man, but he was asked to deliver a speech during the Sagrada Familia completion ceremony. And when he approached the altar, an agent assassinated him. The ceremony was streamed worldwide. People all over the world witnessed the moment of his death.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, me too.
I was a child back then, so I didn't get how important that was. But footage of the man burning was all over the internet, so you couldn't avoid it if you tried. Man, that wasn't even an assassination. They'd burned him alive in broad daylight, in front of a crowd and on record.
What happened to the anti-fate faction after Cardinal Bertone's death?
They were shut out from the centers of authority at the Vatican and lost the power to resist 513. Since then, 513 has had complete control over the Vatican. The current pope is more of a figurehead than anything.
One had said that the Holy Office 513 were a secret group pulling the strings of Catholicism, and it seemed like she was telling the truth. I fought one of the agents just yesterday. I didn't have the luxury to doubt anymore. A crazy powerful group that wanted the world to end, that's who we were up against.
Pietro was my father.
Huh?
That came out of nowhere.
The cardinal they killed?
My foster father, to be precise. I was an abandoned child, and he took me in as his own. I was only 11 when he died, and I didn't know anything about what had happened. That's why I sought the truth. After I searched my father's study and talked to his friends, I learned about 513 and swore revenge. From then on, I spent years training my body and studying to be an assassin. I was appointed as an agent 2 years ago.
So you were anti-fate from the get-go?
Yes. I did everything I could to deliver unto 513 the punishment they deserve. Though, I wasn't... Though, I wasn't even bestowed a sacrament. All I could do was gather information about the agents I was paired with.
Her smile seemed self-deprecating.
I owe everything to you, Rosario. If I hadn't met you, I'd still be in...
Momo, indeed. Saving you is something I can be truly proud of.
So Rosario's one of the people who helped you make it to Japan, huh?
Momo nodded gently.
Momo?
There's something I haven't mentioned yet.
Huh?
After she'd told us about the fate of her bodies, I felt like I knew everything. But it looked like there was more.
Before I came to Japan, I was part of the Holy Office 513.
But...
You were an agent too?
No, not like that. I was created by them.
What do you mean?
It was in early 2035. The Holy Office used their Earth simulator to recreate the 3 children of Fatima. Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta. They took that data and transplanted it into 3 artificial brains. One of them, artificial brain Lucia, was me.
Huh?
Momo was an artificial brain? Data from an Earth simulator? None of that made sense.
But you're right here, just like us.
What?
You're not an artificial brain.
I was told that I suddenly grew a body, that I had incarnated, several weeks ago.
But...
Rosario, do you have the recordings?
Here. Initially, this case only contained an artificial brain. One day, someone heard crying coming from inside it. And when they opened it up, they found Momo.
What?
No way.
An artificial organ became a person?
Not a single person of the Holy Office knows what caused it. Of course, neither do I. All we can ascertain is that transplanting data into the brains greatly increased the world's entropy. The world strayed from the fate line when they did that. And this is what caused the sad mourning.
What? What?
I was at a loss for words. The cause of the sad mourning was still wasn't clear. There must have been some major mistake that everyone overlooked. That was the official explanation. But in reality, it was rooted in Momo's origin. The Holy Office recreated Momo and the other kids for whatever fucking reason. And my dad died because of that.
No,
Fuck. Other test.
I'm sorry.
Oogie. I remembered how she'd apologized back at the Shinjuku crater. That explains it. It was cause she knew the actual cause.
I'm so sorry, Colon.
It's not your fault. It's the goddamn Holy Office that's responsible.
I didn't know what they were planning, but I did know that Momo had no business feeling guilty about it. And I also knew she didn't have to apologize to me.
They wanted their factors.
Huh? What are you talking about? What's a factor?
513 thought that there's a reason certain people are exposed to, or chosen by, miracles like the apparitions of Our Lady. That these individuals have a special, inherent quality, a factor. And if it granted total control over such miracles, such power would be invaluable in their defense at the end. That's why they resurrected the children of Fatima, children whose brains they reasoned would contain factors.
So that's why. The artificial brains.
Do these factor things actually exist?
The agent's sacraments are all the proof you need.
Wait, so those are real miracles?
Davide's power. So that's why.
Right. Well, that explained why I couldn't figure out how his pyro shit worked.
What happened to the other 2? There are 3 children of Fatima, right?
Well...
Francisco and Jacinta's artificial brains failed to incarnate, and they died.
Their remains were disposed of. 513 tried to obtain factors again, but they switched from artificial brains to IC chips to prevent the world's entropy from increasing. You saw the result of the IC chip processing with Davide's sacrament. Their new method seems far less effective than the original one, though.
I could tell from Momo's expression and the way she was breathing that it wasn't easy for her to hear this stuff. I didn't know if people recreated in Earth simulators were technically living beings, but I had no doubt that this girl right here was alive.
I was blessed that I met Rosario and the people of the Anti-Fate faction after I became incarnate. If I hadn't escaped that place, I would have abandoned my mission as Lucia.
Momo, you remember meeting Mary, don't you?
Yes, like it was yesterday.
That... okay. But Momo said she wanted to save the world. I didn't know what to think, but I understand now. It's no wonder she was so determined. She actually remembered meeting the Mother of Christ and hearing her prophecies. That... Momo wasn't the original Lucia, but the memories she'd inherited were real.
The Deliberators were tasked to attend to Momo after her incarnation. I was appointed as one of such agents, and I gained the opportunity to talk to her directly. At first, Momo was frightened. She wouldn't let anyone get close to her, saying she was cursed. But after I confessed to her that I opposed the end, she opened up to me. She said she wanted to save the world. It completely contradicted 513's goal. You can't imagine my shock when I heard that. 513 accepted the third secret of Fatima as their dogma and sought the end, while the one who received that prophecy wished to avert it. I believed my meeting with Momo was fated, so I provided her with all manner of information despite her fear of being cursed.
Rosario was quite pushy, but I'm grateful for that now. She helped me make sense of the situation. And that was when I learned about Kent Korihisa from her. Hearing about his past and what he'd done, my instinct told me that meeting him would be crucial to saving the world.
The Anti-Fate faction took a great risk helping Momo escape. Many lives were lost, but I now know that they didn't die in vain. Momo met you, and as a result, she is getting ever closer to Kent Korihisa.
Rosario wasn't putting up a front. She believed all this from the bottom of her heart. The bright smile on her face was proof of that. Okay. Okay. After our chat, we wasted no time getting to work. We wanted to find a way to reach Kent Korihisa that was separate from his quest. But there were things we had to do first. Improving security to prevent the Holy Office 513 from tracking us and coming up with a countermeasure against their sacraments. According to Rosario, they used surveillance cams and satellite imagery to analyze Momo's actions for their Earth simulator's prediction. Apparently, Momo didn't exist in the simulator because of her incarnation, so they had to gather her fresh data in order to simulate her. Its accuracy was still pretty low though. They lost Momo multiple times during phase hack, and in the end they completely lost track of her. But that didn't mean we could relax, so we decided to beef up our security to keep our movements from being tracked. Rosario and Cross would mess with their surveillance by doing things like deleting traces of Momo and planting fake ones. As for Momo and I, we'd come to Orz's office to find a way to deal with the sacraments. First things first though.
The door's locked.
Mo was standing in front of the door on the first floor, confused. We'd come here once during the high hack, but that was before I'd loaded.
No-No's workshop is on the second floor. Go up those stairs.
Mom, you want some cocoa? How about a marshmallow on top? Oh, there's corn soup too!
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
No, Buffalo. You're the hero who put out the fire at Hota.
I didn't do it alone.
You're not saying no to my cup of cocoa.
Robotic arms jumped up out from under Nono's skirt, then reached into the cupboard and took out a mug and a can of cocoa. The arms poured the cocoa into the mug, then added hot water, stirred it with a spoon, and dropped the marshmallow on top. Human hands would struggle to prepare a mug of cocoa with their precision.
Connie and cocoa with the bear-marked marshmallow on top. It's my bestest combo.
Wow. Thank you.
Do you want something to drink too, Polly?
Got anything carbonated?
I got enough fizzy to make you dizzy.
One of the arms reached into the fridge, took out a 7 cup and handed it to me.
Nice.
There was nothing like a 7 cup.
So, what did you want?
We want you to make a gadget we can use against the agents. They use these things called sacraments, and I'll send you the details.
I shared with her a recording of Rosario talking about sacraments. I opened the file myself too, to refresh my memory.
People who have witnessed Marian apparitions or similar miracles are known as contactees. Momo is one of them. 513 have considered these contactees a threat, as some choose to oppose them using the power of the miracles they received. That's one of the reasons they wanted factors for themselves. Almost nothing is known about factors or how they work, but by incorporating them into Kent Korihisa's QCDC, Necro Pilgrimage, 513 gained access to powers akin to true miracles, which they now refer to as sacraments.
What do you mean by incorporating?
Establishing physical connections, using things like electric cables. Special changes seem to happen when outputs are processed through factors, but the principle behind it is a mystery.
So that's why I was connected to those machines.
Agents can activate their sacraments by accessing Necro Pilgrimage remotely. The powers they receive depend on the agent, and sometimes no powers manifest at all. Post-incarnation, Momo's factor was so potent that the sacraments had become significantly more powerful. Only 2 icy chips are left now. They're still a very real threat, but luckily for us, they can't match the power of the artificial brains.
Sacraments were a combination of miracle and technology. Fighting miracles sounded tough, but technology was a different story.
She said they need to access the computer to use their powers. Does that mean they need internet access?
Yeah.
So we just need to cause a little electromagnetic interference.
Well, I'm glad it's not that much of a problem.
Hacking Necropilpa would be the bestest, though.
Yeah, but that's out of the question for us.
Kent Korihisa used to be the head computer engineer at the Vatican. You'd have to be a better hacker than him to break in there.
I guess our interference strategy isn't too reliable either, though.
The agents were probably aware of their weaknesses, so they'd probably realize if we tried something using EMI.
It's gonna be hard to concentrate if you're gonna keep being all negative about the plan.
Oh, sorry. I'll make it up to you by...
If they're your gadgets, no, I'm sure they'll work wonderfully.
Huh? You think so?
Of course.
She's right. No one in the world is better at this than you. You're our girl genius.
And you're really cute, too.
Alright, you can count on me. The cutest, geniusest girl in the world. I'll make you the specialist gadget you've ever seen. Get excited!
Okay. Gut. Dann gucken wir nächstes Mal hier weiter.